Breaking laziness, rebuilding your life.
Laziness is not just doing nothing. It is letting life slip away. Every moment we delay, we are trading pieces of our future for comfort today. But the good news is this: if laziness is a habit, then action can also become a habit. And habits can rebuild your life. Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. Abraham Lincoln. A man wasted years scrolling endlessly on his phone. One day, he realized his dreams were slipping away. He began with just 10 minutes of reading daily. Then 20 minutes of exercise. Slowly, laziness lost its grip. Years later, he had built a business, a healthy body, and a confident life. Not because of one big change, but because of thousands of small, consistent choices. Understanding laziness. People often say, "I'm just lazy." But laziness is not who you are. It is what you have practiced. Laziness is not a permanent label. It is a pattern of choices, repeated until it feels normal. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. Jim Ryan. Laziness is often misunderstood. It is not always about being unwilling. More often, it is about fear of failure, avoiding tasks because you fear not doing them well. Overwhelmed, the task feels too big, so you freeze. Lack of clarity, not knowing where to start, so you start nowhere. Short-term comfort, choosing rest or distraction over effort. When these patterns repeat, they shape your life without you realizing it. But here is the truth. Then action can also be learned. Then action can also be learned. It wasn't because he didn't care. It was because the work felt too big. And starting felt too scary. When he broke tasks into tiny steps, just one paragraph written, he discovered that action was easier than avoidance. Over time, the lazy student became known as the disciplined one. Laziness is not an identity. It is a habit. And like any habit, it can be unlearned. The cycle of procrastination and its consequences. Laziness rarely begins as laziness. It begins as procrastination. A small delay, a later, that slowly grows into a habit. And when procrastination repeats, it becomes a cycle that steals your future. You may delay, but time will not. Benjamin Franklin. The cycle of procrastination looks like this. Delay, you say, "I'll do it later." Relief, you feel comfort because you escaped effort. Guilt later comes, but you haven't done it. Shame grows. Stress, deadlines tighten, pressure rises. Repeat, to escape stress, you delay again. This cycle feels safe in the moment, but dangerous in the long run. Its consequences are not only lost time, but also lost confidence, lost opportunities, and lost dreams. But also lost confidence, lost opportunities, and lost dreams. Each day he told himself, "I'll start tomorrow." Tomorrow became the night before the test. He crammed, failed, and told himself again, "I'll do better next time." But the pattern repeated in college. Then, in his career. Until procrastination became his identity. Procrastination feels small today, but it grows into regret tomorrow. The cost of delay is not only the task undone, but the life where true motivation comes from. We wait for motivation like waiting for lightning. We think one day it will strike, and suddenly we will have the energy to change our lives. But motivation does not come first. Action does, and action creates motivation. You don't have to be motivated to start, you just have to start to get motivated. Anonymous. Motivation is not the fuel. It is the fire that comes after the spark. Action gives progress, gives motivation. When you take one small step, you see progress. Progress feels rewarding. That reward becomes motivation. Most people wait to feel inspired before acting. But the truth? Action creates inspiration, not the other way around. A writer dreamed of finishing a book. For years, he waited for inspiration. Days, months, years passed, no book. One day, he committed. I will write for just 10 minutes each morning. At first, it was difficult. But words led to pages, and pages led to chapters. Soon, the book was real. Not because inspiration struck, but because discipline lit the fire that birthed motivation. Do not wait for motivation. Act first. Motivation will follow your movement. The 2-minute rule and the power of starting. Big goals feel heavy. We look at them and freeze. Write a book, run a marathon, change my life. But every big mountain is climbed the same way. One small step at a time. The secret is this. If it takes less than 2 minutes, just start. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Zig Ziglar. The 2-minute rule is simple. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. If a task feels too big, break it into a 2-minute version. Instead of exercise for an hour, put on your shoes and stretch for 2 minutes. Instead of write 10 pages, open your notebook and write 1 sentence. Instead of clean the house, wash 1 dish. The magic is not in 2 minutes. The magic is in momentum. Once you start, continuing is easier than stopping. A man wanted to start running, but the idea of 5 kilometers felt impossible. So he practiced the 2-minute rule. Just put on shoes and walk to the gate. Most days, once his shoes were on, he kept walking, then jogging. Months later, he completed his first 10 kilometers run. Not because of one huge effort, but because of hundreds of 2-minute beginnings. Starting small is not weakness. It is the smartest way to beat procrastination. Because once you start, you are no longer stuck. Turning discipline into freedom. Most people see discipline as chains. They think discipline restricts freedom. But the truth is the opposite. Without discipline, you are a slave to impulse. With discipline, you are free to live the life you choose. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Jim Rohn. Without discipline, you sleep late, skip workouts, waste time online. You feel free in the moment, but trapped in the long run. With discipline, you rise on time, move your body, focus on priorities. You give up comfort now, but gain freedom later. Discipline is not punishment. It is training your future self. Every act of discipline is an investment in freedom. 2 friends graduated college together. One chose freedom without discipline. Late nights, no plan. The other chose disciplined steady work. Daily exercise, focused goals. 10 years later, the first was stuck in debts and regret. The second traveled the world, healthy and confident. Discipline did not restrict him. It freed him. Freedom without discipline is illusion. True freedom is the power to choose your path. And discipline is the key that unlocks it. Building systems instead of relying on willpower. Willpower is like a battery. It works for a while, but it drains with every decision, every temptation, every struggle. If you want lasting change, don't depend on willpower. Build systems that make good choices automatic. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. James Clear. A system is the environment, habits, and structures that support your success. Preparing workout clothes the night before makes morning exercise easier. Using website blockers reduces distractions automatically. Scheduling tasks in a calendar prevents decision fatigue. Surrounding yourself with focused people builds natural accountability. With systems, you don't fight laziness every day. You design your life so laziness has no room to win. A man tried to quit smoking with willpower alone. Each day was a battle, and each week he failed. Then he built a system. He avoided places where he used to smoke, replaced cigarettes with healthy snacks, and joined a group of ex-smokers. This system carried him further than sheer willpower ever could. Willpower is temporary. Systems are sustainable. If you want freedom from laziness, don't fight harder. Design smarter. Breaking laziness with consistent action. Laziness is loud at the beginning, but it grows weaker against consistency. Consistency does not mean perfection. It means showing up again and again, until action becomes your new identity. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Aristotle. Consistency beats intensity. One workout a day for 20 minutes is better than one workout a month for 3 hours. Writing 1 page every night is better than waiting for the perfect weekend to write 10. Saving a small amount weekly is better than waiting for extra money that never comes. Bigger changes come from smaller actions, repeated faithfully over time. A man wanted to learn guitar. At first, he tried practicing 5 hours in one weekend, then quit for weeks. Later, he changed. Just 15 minutes a day, no excuses. After a year, he could play dozens of songs. Not because of one intense effort, but because of daily consistent practice. Consistency is the hammer that breaks laziness. Small, steady strikes shape a new life. Do not underestimate the power of one action. Repeated daily, it becomes unstoppable. Rebuilding your life as your best self. Laziness is not just about wasted time. It is about wasted potential. When you break free from laziness, you don't just become productive. You rebuild your life into a story worth living. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Peter Drucker. Rebuilding your life is not about perfection. It is about direction. Clarify your vision. Who do you want to become in 1, 5, 10 years? Set systems, not just goals. Build daily habits that pull you forward. Surround yourself with growth people, books, and environments that elevate you. Embrace discipline as freedom. Each choice shapes the architecture of your life. When you live this way, your life stops being a series of delays and becomes a journey of deliberate creation. A man once saw himself as lazy, hopeless, stuck. But instead of chasing perfection, he started small, reading daily, exercising, learning a skill. Years later, he looked back and realized he had not just killed laziness, he had rebuilt himself into a leader, a father, a friend others could count on. His story was not about escaping laziness. It was about creating a life of purpose. Your past laziness does not define you. Rebuilding your life is not about who you were. It is about who you are becoming. Breaking laziness is not the end. It is the beginning. The beginning of discipline, freedom, and a life rebuilt with purpose. The beginning of your best self. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you found it helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any new content. Every story in breaking laziness, rebuilding your life is a small step toward transformation. See you in the next chapter with more inspiration to come.